Thank you. Okay, application. Here's why we do standard form. Standard form is useful for problems that give us combinations. Circle this. Combinations. So here's your context. Here's your story problem. The Jackson Band Boosters sell beverages. Now in your book, this is on your homework assignment. I think it's number 52 or something. So when you get to your book assignment and you come across this, go back to your notes. So they sell beverages for $2.25 and candy for $1.75. Their goal is to make $525 every game. You need to change all this English into algebra. I want an equation. What is your equation going to equal? Your equation is going to equal 525. Now how am I going to get the 525? Adding, plusing, timesing, dividing? What? You're adding what? You're adding all of your sodas plus all of your candies, right? So all the money you get from sodas plus all the money you get from candies got to be at least 525. If they get more, they're happy. Now how much do you get each soda? So we're going to times that by 225. We don't know how many sodas we're going to sell. If we sell 10 sodas, we just made 22 bucks, right? And 50 cents. How much are we selling the candies for? $1.75. So here is how you get a combination. This is it. You're done. Your homework's going to ask you to change this English into an algebraic equation, and here you go. You're done. You don't need to do anything. They might ask you something like this. If you sell 30 sodas, how many candies do you need to make? Or how many candies do you need to sell? How could you figure that out? How much money did you make if you sold 30 sodas? You just take 30 and plug it into the sodas, right? Times it by 2.25. 60 something. And then what? You'd subtract that from your goal of 525. And then divide that by 175, $1.75. Okay, good. Now let me ask you this. There's different combinations, right? I can sell one soda, but then I would have to sell a whole lot of candy bars. Or I could sell a ton of sodas and not very many. There's more than one answer, isn't there? Okay, that's called a combination. So standard form, look. What is your X and your Y? Yeah, here's X and here's Y. It doesn't really matter which one's which. I just put X because that's what we want first. Let's look at another one. Basketball. Derek scored 38 points last night. If he made no free throws, what are the possible combinations of 2 and 3-pointers that he could have made? So you're going to write an equation. You're going to set it equal to what? That's the total. He scored 38 points. How did he get that? All of his 2-pointers and all of his 3-pointers. What if he did not make any 3-pointers? If he didn't make any 3-pointers, how many 2-pointers did he make? 19. So look at this. You're going to take how many ever 2-pointers, times it by 2, how many ever 3-pointers, times that by 3, and they have to add and give you 38. So could he make one 3-point shot? If he made one 3-point shot, that's 38 minus 3, so there's 35 points. How can he get 35 points with 2-point shots? He would have had to at least made 2 3-pointers. If he makes 2 3-pointers, that's 6 points, right? 38 total minus 6 is 32. So how many 2-pointers did he make? 16. So you can make 16 twos, 2 threes, 0 threes, 19 twos, and you're done. Just write an equation. So do you see how there's more than one answer? There's a combination of answers. Okay, last thing. We need to talk about intercepts. Intercepts. There's two of them. There's the X Intercept and the Y Intercept. Everybody write this down. Anytime you think of intercepts, you need to think of the number 0. Underline it. Write a huge. That is huge. Anytime you think intercept, your brain needs to think 0. Intercept 0. Intercept 0. Intercept 0. That's got to be your thought process. Intercept 0. Okay, let me shave some time off this. Let's do this. Write this down. Let's write 3x minus 4y equals a negative 24. Okay, here's an equation and it's in standard form. Standard form and intercepts go hand in hand, so that's why we're doing them both at the same time. I want you to choose a 0 for an x, because 0 is the number we're thinking of. 0 is what we're using. If you choose 0 for x, plug it in. What is 3 times 0? So you got this. You got a negative 4y equals a negative 24. Can you solve for y? Divide by negative 4, divide by negative 4. What does y equal? Okay, y is 6. So when x is 0, y is 6. Okay, now let's go the other way. Let's put a 0 for the y. 0 is your number. Let's plug 0 right here for y. What's the negative 4 times 0? So here's what you got. You got 3x equals a negative 24. Solve for x. What does x equal? Divide by 3, divide by x is negative 8. So x is negative 8. Now, graph those 2 points. And they might not fit. So if you graph them, you've got a dot on 0 up 6 right here. And if you graph this one, you've got a dot negative 8 and 0. Somewhere out here. Draw a line through your dots. Okay, if you're going to guess which of those 2 dots is your x-intercept, which are you guessing? Which one of those 2 is your x-intercept? This one. It's where your line intercepts the x-axis. Your x-axis is right here, the horizontal. So where this x-axis intercepts your graph, that's called the x-intercept. And it always happens at a 0. It always happens at a 0, right here. And now which one is going to be the y-intercept? The y-intercept is right here. It's the intersection of your graph and the y-axis. And that happens when x is 0. So let's write these steps down. Here's the steps. Write them down. To find x-intercept, here's what you do. If you're looking for the x-intercept, you're going to plug 0 in. Plug 0 in for what are you going to plug it in for? You're going to plug it in for the y. And step 2, to find the y-intercept, plug 0 in for x. So it's pretty easy. You're looking for the x-intercept, plug 0 in for y. And vice versa. You ready for some practice? Practice these right here. Let's practice A. 9 minutes. Form. So on B, let's get it in standard form. Let's get this 10 over here. Plus 10, plus 10. So you're going to have 3x minus 4y equals 10. Now if you're going to find the x-intercept, plug 0 in for y. So what's a negative 4y times 0? So you got 3x equals 10. Divide by 3, divide by 3. X-intercept is 10 divided by 3. So it's a decimal. It's like somewhere between 3 and 4. Y-intercept. If If you're looking for the y, plug 0 for x. What's 3 times 0? So you got negative 4y equals 10. Divide by negative 4, divide by negative 4. The y-intercept is 10 divided by negative 4, but that's not good. We want this. 5 divided by negative 2. So that's a negative 2.5. Then graph them.